So
Yeah.
that you have the access later on as well. Okay.
Uh, Guys, excuse me. Would you like to record the meeting, Mahendra? I know that the last time the meeting was being recorded.
Yeah, I just started recording the meeting.
Okay, sounds good.
I think we have the recorded video from last week as well. Let me see. Still have it channel. Okay. So let's go ahead and Tapas, you can introduce yourself again. I think we did a brief introduction already as well, and then give a little bit background about yourself, and then maybe go from there. Okay.
Sure, Professor. Uh, hi everyone. My name is Tapas, and currently I'm a student intern. I'm working under Professor Bhandari, and thank you all for joining today. And thank you, Professor Bhandari and Professor Susil, Professor Lucy, for the opportunity. And I'm going to talk about more about the database, and I will try to discuss a little bit more about the concept, and then I will showcase you how the database look like, and I will show you how the real time the database works. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen, sir?
So maybe you want to do the presentation mode, and I think it
That
is
is okay.
already there. Just make it a full screen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. So is it visible?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thank you all. So yeah, this is my name and this is my email ID. So if you guys anytime wants to talk to me anything, yeah, feel free to email me. Okay. So this is our team members, just overview because a lot of new people have joined today meeting. So this is just our team and how we are working as a team. Okay. So let's start about the database. So the first thing is what is database? So database is just a organized and collection structure of information, and we are saving our data into a computer system. So what in the real life how it happens? Like whenever we are saving a file in a database, so it will take those files and it will convert to a byte code and it will read in the disk and it will save over there. So whenever you need it, you just need to do some SQL queries to get those data. So that is mostly the what is we really called a database. It is a organized way of the file and our data. So the next question is why we need a database. We can save our data through a spreadsheet. We can save the data in a notepad. There is a lot of way we can save the data. Then why we really need a database? So mostly database management system helps user to share data quickly, effectively, and securely across an organization by providing quick solution to database queries. A database management system enables faster access to the more accurate data. So just think about a bigger picture. Like let's take example of the Amazon, the Amazon website. How much products are there? There is millions products are there. And suppose you want to buy a product like you want to buy a drone. So when you are searching the drone, you can see there is the list of drone is coming. So where those data are coming? Mostly those data are coming from a database. So in that case, when the data are huge and we need a organized way and we can see those data, and that case we need a database. So let's talk about more about the data, like the type of database. There is mostly the database are divided into five type of database. So the first one is hierarchical database, network database, and object-oriented database, relational database, and NoSQL database. So most of the time, the organizations they always deal with the relational database and NoSQL database. So what is relational database? Relational database is like the database like the SQL database. You might have heard all those names. So those database when we create, we establish a relationship between two entities, and then we create the database. And whenever we want to see those details of those products or the tables or the schemas, so in that case this relational database works very efficiently. And the NoSQL database is mostly called the document database. So nowadays there is like, let's say this month now we are dealing with a lot of data for the machine learning, artificial intelligence. In that case, when you want to save your huge data in a spreadsheet kind of data, in that case most of the people use the NoSQL database, that is called the document database. So let's talk about what is ER diagram. So whenever in organization or the industry or anywhere, whenever the people thinks about create a database, the first step is to create a ER diagram. So what is ER diagram? It is called the entity relationship diagram. It is kind of flow chart. So as I talk, like if you see the previous slide, I talk about the relational database. Like suppose let's think about it. Like there is a manager. Under the manager, there is multiple employees are working. So the manager and the employee is having a relationship, and the manager and the HR, they are also is having a relationship. So all those relationships we can establish by, you can see this diagram. Whenever in the big industries, when they try to create a database, the first step is to create an entity relationship, the ER diagram. So in the ER diagram, we will see like what is the relationship between the two entities. Like suppose the like as I told, like the manager and the employees, manager and the HR. So they have a relationship. So we can say one manager, suppose under one manager, four employees are working. So the manager and the employees is having a one to many relationship, means multiple employees are reporting to one manager. And suppose the manager and his manager, they are having one to one relationship because the manager is reporting to him only. So like this way people used to create a relationship, and then based on out of the relationship they build the database. So this is a high level, you know, diagram I want to show you guys. This is a project like I have worked on, and mostly I'm going to talk about this project. I will show you how the relationship like the ER diagram really helped me. So this is a leasing management office. You can see in this leasing management, this is a leasing office, and under this leasing office you can see this is SUV car, this is sedan, pickup truck, minivan. So they are having relationship with the leasing office, and this leasing office is having a relationship with marketing team, and this leasing office has a relationship with managers. This leasing office has a relationship with towing, who does the tow and all, and the leasing machine office is having relationship with the customer. You can see like I'm showing this means this little, you know, this lines, this means the relationship. You can see one leasing office is having one to many relationship with the customers. This is how the real time the ER diagram people used to draw before creating a database. Okay, so let's talk about like suppose I'm having a database. I want to know, like I want to talk to the database. I want to you know, I want to insert my data. I want to retrieve the data. How we can do it? We can do it via SQL queries. So SQL means this is a structural query language as well as known as the database language, by which we can perform certain operation on the existing database, like insert, create, drop, etc. So mostly like when the database, when we wanted to talk to the database and we wanted to tell the database, okay, I need this person's record, I want this vehicle information. In that case, you need to do a SQL query. Then the database will return back you, okay, these are the vehicles available. you can choose one of them. That's how the database and the user interaction happens. So in the SQL, there is mostly four type of SQL language are there. Like that, those are the statement we call, these are the statements or the commands. So one is DDL, that is called the data definition language. Then DQL, data query language. DML, data manipulation language, and DCL, data control language. These four type of category, if you know, then you know the database. Not a big deal. So let's talk about one by one. What is DDL? What is DQL? What is DML? And what is DCL? So DDL, data definition language, under this, these particular statements are coming like create, drop, alter, truncate, comment, rename. So what is the, like, by the statement name we can understand. Create means whenever we want to create a table, or suppose you are having an already database. Like suppose your manager asked you, suppose a new employee hired to the company and they wanted to create a employee. So in this case they can use the create statement to create the employee. And let's say the employee left the company, and that time the employee is no more required to be in the database. In that case, we can use the drop statement to drop that employee from the record. So alter, this is used to alter the structure of the database. And truncate, this is used to remove all the records from the table. Suppose in the table I want to remove all the records. In that case, they use the truncates. So these are the statements. These are the statements we use for the under the DDL command. So let's go to the DQL. So most of the time, like if I say, 80 to 90% of the time, we always use this DQL statement, this data query language. So if suppose we are having a database, I want to see like how many how many records are available in my table. So in that case, we use this select statement. So select statement is a very much powerful statement for the SQL, for the database. Through this SQL statement, we can select or retrieve records from the data from the table. That is called the DQL statement. Then the DML statements. So the DML statement is like, it is like, suppose you are having already you have created a table. Right now you want to insert the data in the table. In that case, this statement usually works like this is the statement we should use, that is insert. So suppose you want to insert a data to the table, then we can use this insert. And update, suppose there is an employee, and while inserting the employee name, you forgot to insert the last name. So how to update that record? We use the statement called update, and then we can update the particular employee record. And delete is also used for the delete the employee. So lock is mostly used when you want to lock a user, and you want to want that user to be in the database, and you want him to lock, and like you do not want him to give permission. So in that case, we use the lock statement. So then we will go to the next statement, DML. So you might have heard about the database administrator. So what is the job of a database administrator? Like suppose, like let's think like a bigger picture. Like suppose there is under a manager there is three teams are working, and you do not want like one team to see the data of the other team, other who are working with the other team. In that case, in the database level, we can grant the access. Who will see what? So this is mostly done by the database administrator. They used to make sure like up to what extent a user should have a access. In that case, we use the statement, the command called grant. And if you want to take the access from the user, then you can use the command called revoke. So these are the statements broadly used by the different place in the database. And this is the last statement. This is called the TCL. So this comes under the DML statement, but some people, some places they really advise to keep TCL as a different kind of statement. So under this commit, rollback, save point, set transaction, these kind of commands are used. So commit means like whenever you are creating a bulk amount of data, and you want, like, once you suppose you run those, like you insert all the records, and then if you, like, if you want those data to be saved in your system, so at the end you need to commit it. That is the job of the commit. And if you do not want it, then you can just use a command called rollback, so the transaction will cancel. So this is mostly for the transaction control language, called for the transaction, different transactions. Okay, so right now we will talk more about the transactions. So what is the transactions? So let's think about this way. Like, suppose you went to a ATM machine and you want to withdraw some money from the ATM machine. You insert your card, and you did, you enter your PIN code, everything, and you, when you did the transaction, you got the money. So that is the entire process is called a transaction, right? The point you insert the card, and the when you gave the PIN code. So in the backend here, what it will happen, one program will run, it will go to the database, it will check how much money you have. Then suppose you are having $100 in your account and you ask for $120. That is not the thing what happens. So in that case, the transaction has a control. It will tell you you are having insufficient balance for the transaction. So those are the transactions are controlled by the database. So or else, like, the real time it is going to be a disaster. You are having $100 in your account, but you wanted to withdraw $500. The company will go in loss. So in those cases, to control those things, these transactions are really helpful in the database. So these transactions are mostly the property of this transaction. They are divided into four types. That is called the SCD properties. One is atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So the entire transaction they have divided into four category for the database. So what is atomicity? So each statement in a transaction to read, write, update, or delete data is treated as a single unit. Either the entire statement is executed or none of it is executed. This property prevents the data loss, and corruption from occurring. Like, just the example I told, like suppose you are having a, in your account you are having $100 and you are trying to do a transaction of $500. In that case, it should restrict you. It should tell you, like, you are having less amount in your like you insufficient balance kind of error messages. So those things are controlled by the atomicity property of the database. Then consistency. So ensure that transaction only make changes to table in predefined, predictable way. The transaction consistency ensure that corruption or errors in your data do not create unintended consequences for the integrity of a table. So how it means, like, consistency means, let's see, you are doing a transaction, like you want to withdraw the balance from your account. It should deal with only the balance table, not with your your personal name, your personal detail, or your identity. Those tables should not be impacted. Only the table where we want to do the transaction. So it should go to the table. It should do the transaction in the table where you are having the transaction, your balance, where it is there. Then the isolation. When multiple users are reading and writing from the same table all at once, isolation of the transaction ensure that the concurrent transaction don't interfere with or affect one another. Like, let's see, Amazon, you're trying to, you are searching for a product in the Amazon. Suppose you want to search for a, like, as I gave you example, you're trying to see how many you want to buy a drone. So let's say, like, Amazon is a very big organization. They're having multiple users are accessing their application at a single time. If 10 users are at a single time, they are trying to search the, like, when in the web browser you are trying to search a drone. So that means in the backend it is doing a SQL query that we talk about, the SQL query is going to the database and it is searching for the product named drone, and it is getting those records and showing you in the UI. That is the backend picture happening. So when multiple users are doing that transaction, it should intact. So that is, so each transactions it is making as isolation for each person. So that's why, like, you might have not seen like anytime the Amazon website broken. Maybe few times it's broken for the server issue, but not for the database. That is the property. And then the durability. Ensure that changes to your data made by successfully executed transaction will be saved even in the event of the system failure. So like let's see. Okay, let's see. You are trying to, like the same example I'm trying to give you. Suppose you are trying to withdraw your money, and due to some reason your transaction did not happen due to network issue or something happened. Anything can happen. So in that case, to make sure your amount should not be deducted, this durability property works in the database. It will, if your amount has not dispersed, so it will always ensure that your balance should not be reduced from your balance table. That's the one more property of the database. These four property are very important for the database transactions. So let's talk about the relational database. So as I told you, like mostly in the industry and everywhere, people used to deal with mostly two type of database. That is very famous. One is relational database. One is the document database, the NoSQL database. So relational database is a collection of data item with predefined relationship between them. These items are organized as a set of table with column and rows. Table are used to hold information about the object to be represented in the database. Going forward, I will show you how the relational database will work in a real-time scenario. I will show you, but but the relational database means, like, as I like give my first argument. Like suppose the manager table and suppose the employee table, they should having a relationship, and that relationship we need to establish in the database. So the database will get to know, like, when suppose I want to ask under this particular manager how many employees are working, so it should give me, okay, under this particular manager 10 employees are working. So how that's happening? This is happening due to this relational database. So in a database, there is two features are very important. Like when this relational database we are talking, one is primary key, one is foreign key. So what is primary key? Primary key is a special relational database table or column designed to uniquely identify each table or record. A primary key is used as a unique identifier to quickly parse data within the table. A primary key's main feature that it must contain a unique value for each row and data. It cannot contain null values. Every row must have a primary key value. So that means, like, suppose like when you are having a table, let's say the product table, or in the product table we are having different products. But when we want to see, like you might have seen, whenever you are doing a transaction, there is a order ID used to generate with, and suppose, or you have your something problem happened in your cell phone. You call to the customer care, you gave your complaint, like, my phone is not working, this is the problem. So he noted down your problem. Then they used to give you a complaint ID. This complaint ID is like a primary key, like that like for your problem, that complaint ID stands you uniquely. Means, like, if I will give you this complaint ID, they will get your entire information. Okay, this is the person name, this is the problem, this is like how long he is facing the problem, and whether the problem is resolved or not. So how this is identifying? Through this primary key. So whenever we are creating a table, the database will always ask you, like, create a primary key, which entity you want to make your primary key, because it should be unique. And what do you mean by foreign key? So let's see two tables. Let's look at this, this picture. This is a called a person table, and it is having person ID, last name, first name, and age. And this is a order table, and it contains order ID, order number, person ID. So in this case, when I want to retrieve, like, what is the common feature about this person table and order table, or I want to connect these two tables, how can I connect? I can connect through an operation called join, that we will talk later. But this is a parent table, this is a child table, and how these two tables are connecting each other through the person ID. If you see, this person ID is available in the person table, and in the order table also this person ID is available. So if you want to join this table, you always consider this person ID, and this is your primary key. This, you can see, in this table, this is a unique feature, and it starts like it doesn't have any job with anyone else. So this is a unique thing, and through this we can connect this two table. This is called the foreign key relationship. Okay, so right now let's talk about join, as I told. So join, like in the database, whenever we work, the join is a kind of operation you have to do in your real time, very, like very frequently people does. So join means like when you were having two tables and you wanted to see what are the common features in this two table. If you join these two table in that thing in the SQL, the SQL is having a for the join they are having special join statements. By using the join statement, you can join two tables and retrieve the records. So there is mostly four type of joins exist. One is inner join, and then left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. These are the four join statements mostly used in the database. So what is inner join? Let's look into these pictures. So let's see. This is table one, and this is table two. I want to see what is the common thing between these two tables. You can see these two areas. This area is common, right? This little area. So this thing we can retrieve by this inner join. Like let's go to back to the here. You will see this is the person table, this is the order table. If I will ask you what is the common thing between these two, what is, then we can say like person ID is the common thing for both of them, you can see. So that data we can retrieve by the inner join. Then left outer join. So left outer join returns all records from the left table and match record from the right table. So let's go back to our this table. So let's see, this is our right table, this is our left table. So when we want to do a left outer join, it will first take accountable with the person ID. This is your foreign key. So the join, when the join operation happens, the SQL query, the SQL like the database will first see, okay, what is the foreign key? Person ID is the foreign key. So then, excuse me, then it will ask, okay, so this is the person ID, we got it. Then it is a left outer join. So from this table, these two more record it will fetch, because this is a, from the record, this in the left position of the second table, this record is available. So it will fetch you. And same for the right outer join, it will fetch you for the right side of like this, the common record with the right side of the this table. Whatever the records are available, it will fetch. You can see this from this table. Table 1, table 2. When the right join is happening, returns all record from the right table and match record from the left table. And same for the full the full join or the full outer join, it will give you the whole record, right? The whole record of the both the table. So this is how the join works. So the join is really a very very powerful tool whenever in the real time database they works. So the join, the people use the joins very frequently. So like that's the thing I was just wanted to talk about, the database part. Now I will show you guys how the real database look like.
Before going there, Tapas,
Yeah.
maybe we can open up for any discussions or any questions that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
To me, you are giving me a lot of new information, with the database and things like that. So we wanted to see how the students are feeling
Yeah,
and
sure.
maybe get their response on this lecture series.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Any student volunteer that would like to speak up something about what we are hearing from Tapas? Okay, I think we again need to call the next.
Before, I think I have a question, Tapas. Like, I'm sorry for joining late, but that's everything is very new, and like Dr. Vandari said, I knew a couple of things, but not a lot. So whenever you manipulate these data sets, let's say you put like join, you had like SQL query to look up and maybe I think the one you had was to filter. That was very interesting. So do we need? I think this is kind of fear of me as well. Do you need a lot of like coding language, like knowledge of coding beforehand to work with this data set? Or is there something that we can use, let's say, plug and play kind of thing? Something where you can click and get all of it. Is it possible to get it without advanced like coding knowledge?
No, sir. No, sir. So I will show you like how like SQL the I will let me go to here like to. So SQL don't have any coding language. These are the statement, the create, drop, alter. These are just the statements we use to, like, suppose I want to create a table. I will use this statement, create statement. I want to drop a table from my database. I don't want it anymore. I can use this drop. So like suppose I want to see, okay, so how many records are available in my employee table. I will use this select statement. It is like select from this table, like the table name, and I like you can narrow down your search. That's the only the game of the database. You do not need any coding language. You just need the SQL language. That is very easy, and it is very effectively you can do it. It's very easy thing. You do not need any coding language.
That's very comforting. I know it's also a concern for a lot of our students as well. Not having a lot of coding background and just kind of learning more. I think that's very comforting. And of course, your example would make it more easy, and that would help us as well. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any more questions or anything anyone likes to add?
Yes, I do have one, Mahendra. It was one question for that Tapas. Thank you very much, by the way, for your presentation. It was really good. Would you please explain once again, in which scenarios we mostly use relational database against non-relational databases? Like which scenarios, are,
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. So for like whatever you are seeing in this world, Amazon, Facebook, Google, these all people are using relational database. Why they're using? Because see, I'm telling you, like a product, you want to keep a product. Under the product, you are having different products. Cop is a product, laptop is a product, or phone is a product. When you want to like keep all these product under one umbrella, you need to create a relationship. The relationship will be like under the product is the table. Under the product we are having different categories, like we are having phone, we are having laptop, we are having cup. So whenever I want to access the phone table, I will just go and ask him, can you give me the phone table? It will give me the phone table. Then under that you are having different phones like Samsung, Apple, you're having OnePlus. Then you will ask, okay, give me only the Apple phones. It will give you the Apple phones. So these are the relationship. These are, we are having kind of the product, and phone is having relationship. Phone with the different varieties of phone is having different relationship. In this case, we are using the relational database. And the NoSQL database, like the document database. Suppose I want to keep a whole data set, the machine learning, like the drone data you are getting, 2021 data, 2022 data, 2023 data. So you can create one place called 2021, and you will create, keep all your data set. So that is just called a document database. You do not have any relationship. You are just keeping something, just dumping something in a database. So that is the, the high level difference between the relational database and the NoSQL database. But whatever you are seeing in this world, 80 to 90% everywhere it is your relational database. Like if you, like I was showing the ER diagram, you can see, like here, like this is a leasing office. Leasing office is, under this leasing office we are having, like SUV is a car, sedan is a different type of car, pickup truck is a different type of car, minivan is a different type of car. So whenever I will ask this leasing office, okay, show me the type of cars you are having, it will give me the different type of car. Then under this SUV, like maybe you are having BMW, you are having Audi, you are having Toyota, you are having Ford. Under this SUV, different type of data, like cars are there. Then when I will ask this particular SUV table, okay, what type of cars you are having, it will give me those data. So these all are kind of a relationship, right? If you see, so that's why we are using the relational database.
I see. Thank you, Tapas.
Welcome.
Any more questions?
Hello guys. I'm having a quick question. So, how often are we using this SQL to collect or retrieve the data? I mean, in this project, like in this internship, like how often do we use this?
That is a very good question, and we are discussing what kind of project to develop, and most likely we'll be working on this database with Topos is kind of serving as is monitoring all of you and then having some hands-on experience. So most likely we'll be working on this, but we have not yet finalized the project itself.
Thank you.
So should we go to the demonstration, I think?
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, let me just open. So the first thing, have you guys anytime saw, like, have you seen that how the database look like? Anybody?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else apart from Jose? I know he's working on database. Did you guys saw anytime how database look like? Okay. So I will strongly recommend you guys. Okay. So I right now whatever I have talked to you guys, I'm gonna show you in a real time scenario how it works. Try to download SQL Workbench. Okay, let me show you how it look like. Oh my God. Okay, so you can see, welcome to MySQL Workbench. So this is a database container. No, this is the database management system, what we call database management. So what it happens, whatever I'm doing here through this application, it is recording my inputs, and it is going and it is saving in my machine's hard disks. So this is the tool by which we can interact with the data we saved in my hard disk. Okay, so let's go. Let's see how the database look like. So first, let's see. This is these are this is a database. This is the database. This is we called schema in a database. So as I have shown you, like, let me show my ER diagram. Okay. So you can see this ER diagram I have drawn, like I have shown you, like these are the different tables, these are different columns available in my database. So right now I am showing that in the database form. So this is the database name is Sardar Leasing Management. This is a leasing management office. And under this, if you see, these are my tables: complaint, customer, email, customer phone, employee email, employee phone. These all are my tables. So under these tables, I'm having different records: employee ID, phone number. Employee is having employee ID and phone number. These are the columns. Similar, like let's see in employee table. So under the employee table, I'm having employee ID one column, employee name, age, date of birth, position, department, salary, join date, pin code. These are all the fields I have created. So the more you think how to create a database, these things I thought and I have created like this way. You guys can think of like let's create a database like animal world. Under the animal, what are the type of animal? Okay, these like these are the mammals, these are the birds, these are the things. Okay, under the birds, what are the different type of birds we can create? Like this, just try to think about and relate with your field, like how we can create a database. Let's say we have created a one table called a bird called parrot or something. Then what are the features of the parrot? Like its color, its date of birth, like when like something, those datas you can put it in your database. Like that is the broader way we can think of. Okay, so right now let's see. As I told, what is the SQL query language I talk about, you guys remember, right? So I told you, whenever you want to see, like this is my table called employee. I want to see what are the records in my employee table. So how can I see? So this is Professor Sushil, your answer. This is the simple language, the SQL query. Select star from employee. So if I will run this particular query, this particular SQL query, you can see it gave me the results. I will show you here. Okay, this is showing me these are the employees like Tapas, Akash, Abhilash, Abhishek. These are the employee ID. This is their age. This is their date of birth. This is position, department, salary, join date, pin code. So where these data are coming? See this side. Like if you see this side, employee ID, you can see here this side in the database under the column employee ID. This is my employee ID. Employee name, these are the employee name. Age, here it is showing age. This is the age table. You can see this is age. Date of birth, this is DOB. Position, here it is position. Department. Salary. Joining date, it is showing in what date the employee got joined. And pin code, what is the employee's pin code? Like this data we are coming. Like if I will go to the, let's say one more place I will go. This is a leasing office. I want to see what are the records under the leasing office. Let's try to do a SQL query for the leasing office. So if I'll run it, it is giving office ID 200, 201, 202, employee count 10, 12, 20. So where it is getting from the department. And this is the pin code. So where it is getting, if you expand this particular leasing office, if you see these columns, you can see office ID, employee count, RID, pin code. These data are coming. So right now, let's see some more thing. So these are just the language. This is the, you don't need any coding language. You do not need anything. We just need this language you should learn. Then you will do it. It's pretty easy and very much common English language. Nothing much. Okay. So let's see. I want to see like under the leasing management, I'm having SUV details. Like if I will do the SQL query, select star from SUV. So it is giving me, let me run it. Okay. So you are having, if you see, these are the SUV ID. It is, as I told, the primary key is always unique. This is, you can see these are the unique IDs. This is how it creates, or else it won't allow you to create records. Then suppose I want to see, okay, show me the vehicles, the vehicle which is having the ID is 6,000. The SUV ID is 6,000. So then let me do a, so this is how the SQL query we are narrowing. Like I told how the narrow, it does the search narrowing under the phone. I asked you, show me the Samsung phone, show me the Apple phone. This is how they do. Select star from SUV where the, I will say SUV, mm, mm, SUV underscore ID equal to, let's say I will tell 6,000 and I will do a SQL query. So any guess what I will get from this record? Anyone can anyone guess it from the student? So okay, let me again reiterate my question. So you can say this is a SUV ID is there, and I told you these IDs are unique. You can see this cannot be duplicate. The name can be duplicate, but the ID cannot be duplicate. So I am as telling, go to the SUV table. SUV table means where the SUV vehicle table, and give me the result of the ID, the vehicle whose ID is 6,000. Then which record I will get it? Any guess?
It should be the first one, right?
Yes, sir. You are correct. You can see. I have done the SQL query. You can see the SUV ID 6,000. I got the only the SUV which ID is 6,000. I'm getting that SUV. Okay. This is how it narrow down the search. Okay. Let's see some more thing. So right now, again, we are having all the SUV. If I will do, I will tell my SQL query. Okay. From this table, give me the vehicle whose office ID is 200. So how many record I will get from my SQL query? Any guess? Anyone want to guess? Just try to tell. Like let's see. If it is wrong, it's fine. We will be all are learning.
Before, right? Okay.
Yes, we will get four.
Okay.
Why we are getting? If you see, if you see here, this office ID, like we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 record we are having, but in the office ID, if you see 4 record is having, office ID is same 200. I am telling to the database, give me the SUVs whose office ID is 200. Give me those SUVs. So let's do that query. We got 4 records, right? So this is how the SQL query works. This is how it works. So you don't need to, it's not a rocket science. It's just a, you just need to learn. You don't need any coding language. If you know this small language, how to do a small SQL queries, we will get it. Okay. So right now I'm going to show how the entire structure is looking like. You can like, okay, so here is a question. Just imagine, suppose a guy, a developer came to Amazon and they asked the guy, we want to create a different table. We want to create a new table, and it should having a relationship with the employee email table. So like in real time, maybe it look like to you like this, like you're thinking these are the tables, and under this table we are having different columns, and under the columns we are having data. Those data we are seeing in the front end, but in the back end it's a huge structure. That relationship I told, these all are having one relationship with each other. So whenever you are entering the data, if the relationship does not satisfy the condition, it won't allow you to update, delete, or create a new record. So you just think how big would be the Amazon or the these people's database? Huge. So how they will see like which like how many relationship with the customer table with other table. Customer table has might be a relationship with the phone number. Customer table has might be a relationship with the email table. It might be a relationship with the sedent table. You don't know. So how we will see that? That's how I talk about the ER diagram. So the developers always go and look into this one. Just have a look, you know. So I want to see if I want to see, okay, tell me through this customer what all tables are having the relationship. Can you see the highlight? Customer table is having relationship with the customer email, customer phone, leasing office, and pin code. So whenever you are creating any data, you always keep in your mind that okay, these tables are having the relationship. You always have to look into the relationship with these four table: customer phone, leasing office, location, and customer email. If I will see like see this table manager is having relationship with the marketing team, it is having a relationship with the employee team, it is having relationship with the employee email, lounge, and employee. These are the relationship. Like this is how the database always works. And you can always expand it. You can see this is one to many. You can see these three little dots. It is denoting one manager is having multiple under this leasing office. They are having multiple manager, and one manager can have relationship with multiple employees. You can see this is how the relationship always happens. And whenever the developers work on to create something new, and in the backend it always whenever we are doing a SQL query, it always looks for this relationship. If your relationship doesn't satisfy, it won't give you any result, it won't allow you to do any updation in the database. So this is how the database works. Okay, so right now I'm going to show you guys how the data how the the other the UI we used to face the data. So let's have a look. This is just I'm showing you guys for the because this it's a quite it was my project. I have developed this entire system, so I just wanted to show you guys like I was talking about a lot about like in Amazon when you are searching for okay, show me phones, show me laptops, it is giving you the records like okay, these are the laptops available, these are the phones available. But how it really works in the backend, how it is like when you are doing a search after searching mobile. So the what is happening, it is from the UI, it is taking a request and it is giving to the database, and it is the asking the database, okay, give me the phone record, what are the phones available. And then if you are searching okay, Apple phone, then how it is narrowing the search, and it is going and it is giving you only the Apple phone. So let's see. So let me open my UI. Okay. I will show you the comparison also, how we are seeing the data. So, okay, let me log in. This is a website. What is it is hosted in my local host. So let's see. So I want to see the employee details. If I click here employee detail, it is giving me employee ID, age, date of birth, position, department, salary, joining date, pin code. You are seeing in the UI. But how these records are coming from the database, that we will see simultaneously from the database too. So that's then we will understand. So what is happening from this UI? When I'm clicking one of like employee detail, so it is going and it is doing a SQL query in this database, and it is giving me the records. So let's see. Right now I want to see the employee detail. I click under this, employee detail, and let's see what are the records I'm getting from the employee table. If I will show EMPLOYEE, if I will do a SQL query here, so if you customer detail, employee detail, okay, so if you guys see here, it is showing me, you can see here, employee ID 1000 1001 1002 1003. You can see this employee IDs 1000 1001 1002 1003, and this employee name table I have done, like I hide it for some reason, but if I want to see the age, they all are having 29 years. You can see this is the 2010 2010 29. The date of birth you can see here, date of birth you can see, this is the date of birth. The position manager, CEO, GM, director, you can see here in the UI, manager, CEO, GM, director. So that means our whatever the data is available in my database, I'm seeing in my UI. Join, you can see salary 1000, 2000, 3000, 5000, 1000, 2000, 3000, 5000. Joining data also you can see. Let's see the customer detail. Okay, if I will do the SQL query, customer, okay, you can see my database right now. So you can see customer ID 1000 1001 100001. Name you can see Akash Aman. You can see here Akash Aman. Pin code 76207 76208 76207 76208. Genders male. You can see here also, gender male. Vehicle type sedan. We can see here vehicle type sedan. Username, what is the password? This is how the username password is to save in the database. Whenever you are creating an account of any website, it goes and save like this way. Okay. So now we will see one more thing, and then I will explain you how the join works. I was talking a lot about join, so this is how the join helps us. We will see. So this is my leasing office. If I will do a SQL query, leasing office, let's see what we are getting.
So Tapas, here, the front end that you are showing is connected to this database in the backend.
I have yes sir. They like if you
This,
see
just here.
this coding, I have this code. What I'm doing, like this, I have through this code, I am connecting this database. Like this is just this code is my medium. Through this,
Okay.
I'm connecting both UI and the database. Through this, it is getting the data. You can see it is keep on running. And when I'm doing any SQL query, any click, you can see it is these are the logs. We call this is the developer logs. So whatever the action we are doing, it is it is recording here. Okay. Okay, so let me see. So let me see. I click on the leasing office. Okay. So what is my leasing office? Let's see. Leasing underscore office. Okay. So if I will do this SQL query, you can see here I am getting office ID, employee count, RID and PIN code. But in the UI under the leasing office, how I am getting the van detail, like the vehicle detail, SUV detail, sedan detail, then pickup truck detail, then this vehicles detail. How I am getting it? So how I'm getting, you remember I talk about the join. So the join will always what is it is doing when I'm having a relationship with the leasing office and all this SUV, sedan, pickup truck. So it is in the backend, it is going to this all individual tables and it is fetching those records. It is attaching and after attach, it is showing me in the UI. This is the job of a join. So under like if you see in the ER diagram, I was talking about the leasing office. Like if you come here, if you see leasing office, we will see here the leasing office. Yeah, so if you see this one, you can see like the relationship how it is establishing. This is the leasing office, you can see. So this is how, like, you know, these all are related to each other. That is how I am getting the data. So okay, so that is how I'm getting. So like if I want to check like whether these data are correct, like under my SUV detail, I am seeing like, you know, Nexon, XUV 500, BMW X1, Alturas, Maruti, and Suzuki. So let me see like whether my SUV data are correct or not. If I want to see it in the database, because because these data are coming from the database. So let's see we are seeing the right data or not. Suppose I am doing a SQL query over here, sedan. So let's start from the Sardar leasing management sedan. If I will do this SQL query, so let's see. So under this is my sedan. You can see under this sedan, I am getting 2000 Audi, BMW, Mercedes, and Tata. Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Tata. Then I'm getting Mahindra, Porsche. I'm getting Mahindra and Porsche, and then Maruti. I'm getting all the data, right? So this is how this data, like wherever you are seeing in the real time, you know, the beautiful in the UI, this is how the exact thing happens in the backend. It always go to the database, it fetch the data, then, you know, through the coding we do kind of little bit look and feel good, a good website to showcase the data how it look like. This is how the real time it works. So like anytime if I want to do a filter, if I'll do 200 means the office ID that like I was doing the SQL query narrow down where clause I was using. It is nothing when I'm doing 200 and clicking submit in backend. It is doing that where clause where it is fetching these records. The vehicles who are having the office area as 200, show me those vehicles. The count is 10, and these are the vehicles it's coming under this. So this is how, like when we are doing anything in the front end, in the back end, it run those SQL queries and it gives the results. So yes, I think that's what I was with me for today. And if you have any question, anything you guys want me to go over anything, I will be happy to do that. If you have any question and concern.
Okay, I think I have a question, and I know this may be others as well. So where do we start? So let's say, so if we want to create a database, right? So let's say we all are talking about creating this database and everything. So what's our starting point? So how do we get started with create? Let's say you had something in the background, like you have tables created, everything was prepared, right? So let's say we have Excel spreadsheet, that's also a kind of database. So where do we start getting those data into this system, and we go from there? So what's the starting point?
Yes. So the first thing is a ER diagram, the entity relationship diagram. We will think first. We need to think about like, okay, I am having like I told okay, the first thing I want to create a leasing office. Then under the leasing office, what I want employees, different department. Then I have created different department. Okay, every department we are having employees. I have created employees. So once you will get that entity relationship diagram, then it is easy for you to create a database. So let me try to create a database or sample database if you can. So new schema, let me give the schema, the name is animal science, and let me try to create it. Apply. Yes, if you see here, I have, sorry, close. Okay, so if you see here, okay, so I have just created a database called animal science, and if you see, it's an empty database right now. I do not have anything. Let me try to create a table. Create a table. So my table name I will tell.
Or can we import it from, let's say, if I have a table already created on a spreadsheet, can I copy and paste it? Can I import it? Like, does the system allow us to import like CSV files or
Uh,
any of those?
yeah, that's a good question. You can import, but the problem is uh, like 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 you cannot import just a file, because like suppose in your spreadsheet, suppose let's think about this way,
Mhm.
because like when you are giving the database, a spreadsheet where you are having multiple columns, how
Mhm.
the database will know what is your primary key. So
Yeah.
in that case, you need to specify, okay, this is my primary key and these are the columns I want to create. In that ways, like you can do it, you can import. But for that you need a relationship, and how much it is feasible for, because I have never, like did research on that. But yeah, that might be a possible way, but I have to like because spreadsheet is having lot of features. There might be some cases where it is denote that this is my primary key. So if you see here, if I'm doing here birds, I'm just trying to create a because it is immediately it is asking me pk is means primary key. It is asking me for a primary key, and it is automatically created id birds, means always id is unique, so automatically it created for me. And let's say, let me try to create, I don't know, it will create. And you can see this is a sql query automatically created by the SQL database. It is telling create a table animal science dot birds, where id bird is not null because it is a primary key I was talking about, and my primary key is id birds. So if I will create it, and it created. Now if I will go to the database, and if I will expand this table, you can see this is a bird table created, right? So under this bird, this is a ID. Right now it is nothing in there, but eventually if you push the data in the database, you will see all those data over here. And just for the simple SQL query, you will get it.
So by pushing the data, you mean like we need to manually enter all those data in a SQL, or what's the process?
No,
Let's
no.
say, yeah,
It's just like, suppose, let me just try to showcase. You can see insert statement, update statement.
okay.
If you just do this insert, it will automatically create a SQL query. And you just suppose I want to create 10, I will just copy like this, copy, then I will come here, control paste, control paste, control paste, and then I will just create everything, or every bar name, everything, and I will just run it. In one run, everything it will go to the database for that. That's how it makes life easier. And you just need to do it once, and once you're done, then you can update those records. You can do like suppose I want to, here it is showing, if you see, let me see where it was. Yeah, update, I want to create an update statement. Maybe we do not have anything, that's why it's not showing. Yeah, it's created. You can see this is an update statement automatically create. You just need to give the data, it will take care automatically.
So by giving data, you mean like we need to manually enter the data, or we can just, is
Yeah,
there a
yeah,
way we can copy paste the
yeah.
data?
Yeah, we like suppose I'm having a spreadsheet. I'm having the data like my first name, last name, first name, last name. I just need to create it once, then it will create it.
Let's give an example, like we do have the height measurements of 1,000 people,
Yes, sir.
okay? Now, if we want to enter those measurements, the height of those 1,000 people in
Yes,
that
sir.
database,
Yes.
each person will have the unique ID, okay, that,
Right.
that is created.
Right.
Now, how that 1,000 values can be entered in this table?
Yes.
Basically.
There is a way. There is a way, but it is like what Dr. Susil was asking. But I'm not much familiar about that part. But there is a way where like suppose I want to create a ID word. Let's say I don't know like whether it is work or like I'm telling here. Let me say um like let me peacock. Let me see if it works. Let me try it. No, it is giving me error. Maybe let me just okay, ID word. Okay, 100. Okay, like it is like something like this way we need to do. Like I don't know this database. I need to see like because we do not have a relationship table or anything. That's why it is not allowing me. But you need but what as per I know like one time you need this like it just copy paste and you know the values you just need to change. Maybe in that case you can do it, but but
Yeah,
but
I think this might be the question that the students can explore
yeah.
in this project, you know, how
Yeah,
to get
but
generated
we can create multiple statements and at a single go like but yeah maybe you need to create 1,000 record at one single shot and just a one go you can enter everything. But here the database I we need to that should satisfy our relationship. If it is not satisfying, it won't allow you to do that.
And I
But
think
from the Excel sheet part, I'm not sure. I need to do a research on that how it works.
I think Cindy have a question.
Yeah. So Tapas, you showed us the tables in the SQL, right? In the
Mhm.
program. So how you got those tables? I mean, employee ID and everything. You showed every table by clicking
Mhm.
on it. So how you got those tables? I mean, you need to create a code
Yes.
and then you enter, or you
Here, right?
separately created the tables, or
Here, right?
Yeah, I think she is talking about those tables.
You are asking about in the
yeah, yeah,
database?
yeah, in the tables, complaints, customers, yeah, those tables. How
Yeah.
you got those tables?
Yeah, we need to use a create table. You can see this is the statement. Once you will click that, it will give you create a table. It will ask you the table name and what is the primary key you want to do it. Like as I have created here. Like that we have to create. This is the initial step. Like this, under the table I have created the birds, right? So like this we have to do. Like create table like I
So
yeah.
this means we need to enter we need to enter every data set manually, right?
The table, yeah, table we need to do it, or else how the database will create. That's how
So
the
that's what they are asking. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Mahendra and Sushil were asking that is the question they're asking. So do we need to enter it manually, or I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we need to
So
create
if
the
there
tables manually.
so if there
Tables,
are 100 people data, we need to create a table by going in there.
yes, we need
Okay.
to create a table called student. Under the student, you can keep 100 of student. But we need to create one table. Table is like student is the table. Under the student, the column is the different students. Those are the columns.
I think that should be a way. Jose, do you have any experience? Are you there, Jose? He's
Uh,
another person who uses the database.
yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So do you think we can automatically transfer the data from Excel?
Yes, yes, we can. Actually, Dr. Lucy, she made a video about it. It's an hour video. I have watched it. Maybe I can request her to email it to us because if we have the data in Excel, it's gonna be way too long to add it manually into our database.
I think Dr. Lucy is here in the meeting. Are you there, Dr. Lucy?
Sorry, yes, I was late. Sorry for the late.
Okay.
And so the question, Dr. Lucy, is if we can add data that we have in Excel automatically into our database.
You can add a database to I mean, in MySQL, is that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
MySQL. I think yes, we can add data to MySQL. Yes.
So I'm having one question. So let's say I'm having an empty database right now, and in your Excel sheet you are having 10 tables, like 10 rows. So how my database will know what is the primary key for the each table? How my database will know that? If we import, like, directly we will do that.
I think when you usually I did in, like, for example, in ArcGIS, when we go to certain kind of tools or process, like for example regression, we need to clarify or specify which one is the primary key. Otherwise, they does not know which one is the primary key, because not every process or tools they need to require process primary key. So even future like relational database, we ideally want a primary key. But it doesn't mean you have to have it. But some process like regression, they do require primary key. So usually in, like for example, in ArcGIS Pro, every time when we transfer or convert to a feature class, it automatically adds a primary key, even if we already have one. So in this case, we can guarantee there's a primary key.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I have seen, like, somewhere I'm not finding. I have seen that import and export part, but I was not sure how how it get the data from the Excel sheet. I have created all these things manually myself. Yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah.
If there are no more questions, then maybe the students can share some of the things, like we talked on the first week. Cecile talked about how the animal science and what kind of data sets are coming in. And then next week I talked a little bit more about plant science data, and our common language here is data. And then database, that is our kind of a common language that we all can fit in, I think. So maybe the students, if you can share like what you got out of this, especially from today, and then what your opinion is, then that will be nice. If anyone wants to volunteer first.
Before that, okay, Professor, I'm stopping sharing, and thank you so much.
Okay, maybe again trying to call the names, I think. So Daniela, you are in the top on my list here. So maybe can we share something?
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
I was about to raise up my hand and then you called me, so um oh my, I can hear myself from the other computer. Something that I really found interesting was when he was explaining everything, I was seeing how I see it every day when I process data with plant science. And I was thinking of many ways that we can use it and how to organize ourselves. And there's a lot that goes into database. Like I did not know any of it. This is a whole 360 type of thing for me.
Yeah. I think it is quite new for most of us here, and there were so many new things coming up especially on the methods, some that. Jack, do you want to share something?
Yeah, I sure can. I mean, it was kind of like drinking from water hose pretty much the entire presentation. I think that's putting it lightly, but I was trying to relate it back to some of my math classes and some of my statistics classes that I took. It helped me a little bit, but I've got some web pages pulled up right now and some of the commands we were using, and so that's probably what I'm going to be using besides just this recording whenever we actually get started on our project. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, it is exciting. So Anna, you are next on the list here.
I see a lot of the terms and just the things that we covered over the lesson today when I do ArcGIS analysis. So a lot of it was familiar, but just the depth that Tapas has gone into shows me that there's still a lot to learn. And so I'm looking forward to that. Just like doing more with databases.
Yeah, I think the projects that you or the students will be working on will revolve around this database and then how to organize the database and things like that. So I think it will be a very good hands-on exercise when you really start the project with the help of Tapas and Prasad. Yeah. Princess here, maybe Sindhu.
Oh, hi. So it was nice actually to getting know about SQL. I think it is somewhat similar like SAS program. But I mean, I took the class previously in the last semester. So I think, I mean, it will be interesting to learn a new language.
Definitely.
Thank you.
So the scientist, Sam and Dr. Sharma, do you all want to share some of your thoughts? Sam is with Daniela, right, Daniela?
He had to step out real quick.
Okay, okay. So I think Dr. Lucy, do you want to say something?
Yeah, so sorry, I was very late because of the other things. So I think yeah, it's a very good presentation. Everything is very clear. Yeah, thank you for the presentation.
Yes, sir, I'm here. You had any questions?
No questions. If you want to share some of the experience, like, sitting together with the students here and learning something from Tapas, if you want to share some of your thoughts.
Sir, learning from Tapas, like Tapas is generally like he has been an experienced software developer. So he has been working with database and website development. So I have been working with modeling data. So different types of data, machine learning, deep learning, you have some of the NLP data like language processing and bioinformatics. So yes, sir, it has been a good experience learning from him, learning from his experience altogether.
It was really good for all of us.
So I did not switch on, like I did not join the meeting since we share the same office. So I was in Daniela's office for a while, then I came here, then so I was just listening to whatever he was saying.
Okay.
Yes.
So anything else?
I think we have Dr. Sharma
Yeah,
unmuted. So.
Yeah, Dr. Sharma.
Yeah, it was really good presentation, and I think I learned a lot actually. So I didn't know a lot of things that Tapas was saying, mostly about SQL and database management. So one thing I would like to say, Tapas, to Tapas is just keep doing what you are doing, and good luck with that. And yeah, your approach looks really good. and keep polishing your ideas and keep doing what you are doing. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sarma.
Yeah, and basically my takeaway from this whole session was, I think as we start with the project, maybe next week, we need to get started with the diagram that Tapas was saying. I think that was the starting point. I think we need to get together as a team and start working on how we structure the project, how we structure the different variables within our data sets, and start with that diagram so that we can easily transform that diagram into a data set. I think we will need to start working on it starting next week as we combine our plant science database and animal science database. That's what I took away. You are muted, Dr. Vandari.
Sorry about that. So with the introductions that we had with animal science data, plant science data, and now with general idea of what goes in with the SQL database and things like that, I think from next week we're going to start the project. And next week we have Dr. Lucy. I need to check your schedule. We're thinking if we can talk a little bit more on maybe spatial database and things like that. And that will be great for the students.
Okay, so my topic will be spatial database, or I think, what do you want me to talk about?
So maybe we can continue with the database on the geospatial side, so that we can have more in-depth, a little bit in-depth understanding of the database. I think that is what I think. Maybe we can discuss it later after this meeting on how to organize the rest of the sessions and project.
Okay, I also can I get to the information about the background in GIS for our students? What kind of GIS background do they have? Like whether you're using ArcGIS Pro?
I think only Anna has the GIS experience. Yeah. Our rest of the students don't have much of the GIS experience, but that will be something helpful for them as well in their career to learn on GIS and kind of geospatial arrangements, certificate, etc., experience and things like that. Maybe we can organize, you, me, and Susil can sit together on Monday and finalize the process and rest of the sessions, I think. Okay. So, anything else? Susil, do you have anything? Also, you can wrap it up now.
I think that has been a good session, and yeah, let's talk for us. Like, we'll have a meeting before next week, and we can communicate on what's expected from next week to work as a team and what we want the students to work on. So,
Dr. Bahandaric, do I have a minute? Can I talk to you?
Yeah, maybe after this meeting.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So maybe we can stay in the meeting.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, good.
Okay, I think with that, we'd like to thank Tapas for sharing us his experience and showing us what database is and all those things. So very much appreciated, Tapas.
Thank you, Dr. Vandari.
Thanks, Tapas. It was very entertaining and really learned a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Susil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lucy.
Okay, we'll see you next week then with all these students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Recording.